Hi guys, my name's Dee, this is the Heroine's Corner and welcome back to my channel, and today I'm going to have a little discussion about American-centrism on BookTube, and I'm going to talk about my top Black British books I'm going to read, so my Black British TBR of the year, or of the first half of the year if you will. So let's get straight into the video. There's a lot to talk about as always, so let's go. I want to say that American-centrism and Western centralism is a really big problem in general, not just in the book community, but just in politics and like media. Just it's a big problem in general. I want to talk about American centralism in particular, but that does not mean that like UK centralism or just like the Anglo globe or whatever, like those are still really huge major like problems and like society and whatever, because America is such a Goliath when it comes to media, books, film, television. It just means that when we see the Black experience on the stage or like in the spotlight, the Black experience is usually the African American experience, and this is no hate to African Americans obviously, or the stories that they're telling. They are all really important key issues that need to be at the center stage, but because African Americans are obviously in America, it just means that their perspective and their stories are usually at the front of the stage, and other Black stories from either from Africa or Black people from across Europe aren't given that same stage space. It's so weird being like a Black British person like on the internet, because sometimes it just feels like we don't exist. Like we just don't exist. It's people sometimes just believe that if you're Black, you're either from America or you're from Africa or the Caribbean, and like that's it. And when really there are like African people of African descent in the in Europe, and there's like Afro-Europeans, and do you know what I mean? It just feels like sometimes our like stories or experiences, they kind of get marginalized just because we're not like the biggest demographic, if that makes any sense. But again, this is no hate to African American stories. They need to be told, and they're not told enough, like vice period. I'm not African American, I am Black British, so I feel like with this booktube channel it's my responsibility to just promote Black British writers and their stories, and that's what I'm going to be doing. So today I have my Black British TBR that I want to talk to you guys about. So these are the books I'm really excited to read, and hopefully I can get to them by before the middle of the year. So first I'm going to start off with the two most popular books that are already on BookTube, so I don't really need to talk about them a lot, and that is Queenie by Candice Carty Williams. This is obviously a book that's been majorly acclaimed. Look at this golden cover, guys. Look, it's so pretty. So a lot of people already been reading this, already been loving this, and we basically follow a Black British woman who's like going through, I think she's in her 20s, and she's just going through life, and this is a book basically about her dealing with like relationship issues and like other like career issues and all that stuff. So I really can't wait to read this. The cover's stunning, and yeah, a lot of people already love this on BookTube, so I need to get on board this hype train. So the next book I've got is obviously really well known as well, and that's Girl, Woman, Other by Bernardine Evaristo. This is a book that everyone loves, again highly acclaimed. I was supposed to read this last year and I just did not get to it, so I really want to get to it this year, and preferably this month, so in January. I really want to get to it. And while I'm going to be reading this book, I'm also going to be trying reading her other book, which is Mr. Loverman, and this follows a old Caribbean man, and he's a bit of a rascal. He cheats on his wife, blah. And yeah, I've never read a book from like that kind of perspective, and I'm half like Caribbean, so I really want to see this kind of perspective of the old Caribbean generation in literature. So yeah, I'm going to be reading both of her books in January, hopefully. The next book I've got is That Reminds Me by Derek Owusu. This is apparently a coming of age story, and we follow a young Ghanaian boy, and I'm pretty sure this is set in London. Apparently it does like really heavy topics, and also we have some West African folklore woven into this story as well. So I really can't wait to read this. It's began a lot of hype in literary circles, and it's a really short read, and I love short reads. So yeah, I really want to read this book. The next book I've got is The Confessions of Franny Lantern by Sarah Collins, and this is a book I started reading last year, and I don't know why, but I put it down, and I was really enjoying this book. So we start off with our main protagonist, Franny, who is in a really bad predicament. She's on trial for killing her masters. I'm pretty sure her masters, because I'm pretty sure like at that time she was domestic servant or whatever. But this book, I was really enjoying it and I put it down, so I can't wait to pick it back up again. Sarah Collins has a real way with words, like she's a really good writer. So yeah, I can't wait to read this book. And also the cover, I love this cover. I don't know why. I think it's because of the green. Is really in nowadays. So yeah, next book I've got on this list is The 392 by Ashley Hickson Lovins, and this book basically takes place on a singular bus ride. So the 392 is basically a bus, and on a singular bus ride there is a suspicion there's a terrorist plot about to happen. Apparently this book paints a really vivid kind of depiction of London. It's really a love letter to London, I've heard, and apparently has some like nice social commentary in. Again, a really short book, and it's creating a lot of hype, but I haven't seen a lot of people on BookTube talking about it, so I will be picking this up soon again. Next book I've got is The Private Joys of Nina Maloney by Okachukwu Nezelu. Sorry if I got any of those names wrong. So this basically follows Nina, and she's heading into adulthood, and she longs to connect with her Nigerian culture, and she's asking questions about her identity and all that stuff. And that sounds like such a relatable story. It's a bit bigger than the other books that I've showed you today, but I really can't wait to read this. I feel like I'm going to try and read this like next month if I can, because it just sounds like it sounds like a story that would like speak to me. I really can't wait to get to this book. So that is all the books, that's like my Black British TBR for at least the first half of this year. And again, when it comes to American centralism, I'm not bashing African American authors and the stories that they're trying to like portray and all that stuff. It's just, again, as I said in my first video, me trying to center myself in the stories that I am writing, and the first step for me to do that is to read Black British authors and Black British stories. Thank you for watching this video. If you have any book recommendations that do you feel like I might like, put them down in the description down below. If you feel like any of these books are interesting, tell me down below. And if you have any comments about like the first half of this video about American centralism, I'd love to hear about them. So yeah, remember to like and subscribe, and I'll talk to you guys again very soon. Bye.